You've probably been told for years you need to build a list. But now we're in the age of AI. Is your list actually going to move the revenue needle for you? Well, I have a guest joining us today. She's going to talk about how the role of email marketing has evolved and how to make it work for you in the age of AI. Welcome to Amplify Your Success podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Benson. I'm known as an authority amplifier to expert-based entrepreneurs and thought leaders who are ready to stop being a best kept secret and start being the unignorable authority that gets chosen. I'm also founder of this amazing collaborative community called the Rising Tide Collective. And if you've been exploring the idea of collaboration, you've been curious about collaborating, you've been considering collaborating, but you haven't really leaned in, let's get you started with getting absolutely crystal clear if collaboration's right for you right now by going to my Collaboration X Factor assessment. I will drop the link in the show notes for you, but you can also go over to melaniebenson.com/X Factor. Now, let's get into this conversation today about email. Our topic specifically is email marketing in the age of AI, how to build authority without social media. And I love this topic so much, but I got to introduce you, I should say, to our amazing guest, Kylie Kelly. She is a visibility strategist who is on a mission to help women stop building their businesses on borrowed platforms. And she teaches entrepreneurs how to grow their audience and their authority through email collaborations, my love language, and search-based visibility instead of chasing algorithms. As the host of the Email Growth Show and founder of a fast growing off social school community, Kylie helps business owners turn attention into ownership and subscribers into buyers. Kylie, I have so been looking forward to this conversation, and you're on the other side of the world. So finding that perfect time for us to chat has been nothing short of miraculous. So thank you for making it happen today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to chat all things email and AI. I think this is going to be a great conversation.
Yeah, me too. And I think we had to start this conversation today just simply looking at, is email marketing still a viable strategy with everything that's going on in the world right now and all the changes that are happening in email deliverability and email tools in general?
I love that. And I mean, yes, it's my entire
I kind of
business,
set you
right?
up with that one, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
you did. You
yes,
did.
and
Beautiful, beautiful. But I think more than ever, it's like the one place or the one asset in our business that we actually own, we actually have control over. Yes, there's things we need to know about when it comes to deliverability and still landing in the inbox, but if you were doing it the way that I teach, which is just building relationships and actually having an email list full of people that we're building relationships with, you're doing the right things, then you're going to land in the inbox. And it is something that we own, right? Like it always used to scare me when you'd hear the horror stories about social, about, people's platforms being taken away or their reach going down and I just feel like at least with email, it's like my safety blanket. I'm a control freak, right? Like, so anybody listening, I like to control things. So the fact that I have control over this one asset of my business and I get to really connect with those subscribers that are there, it's just really powerful. It gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Mm, I love that. And let's just face it, I think email marketing is the one place that it is absolutely the place where you make money. I mean, the gold is in your list is something I've heard for 26 years since I started my business, and I think that's still true today. But I love that you're bringing this clarity that we have to learn some things about email if we want to continue to experience the gold that's there. And you said something that I just want to lean a little bit more into. You said like we're building a community of people that really want to hear from us. Say a little bit more about that and what does that look like to you?
Yeah, of course. So I mean, look, it goes back to the basics of like making sure we're attracting the right people onto our list. But I think even more so in the age of AI, it's actually showing up like a human. It's actually connecting. It's actually sharing a bit of our real life, whatever we're comfortable with. But it's actually being ourselves through those emails and through the words that we use and using our voice. And we can be creative, we can send voice notes, we can do all sorts of things, right? But it's like actually keeping that focus of building a relationship with these people, because that's the thing, we always go after these big numbers, right? Like even with email marketing, we want the list to be X amount, we want the bigger list. Like, yes, and we get to actually build relationships, and that's another person on the other side of that inbox. So I think always remembering that as well, being intentional how we're growing it, making sure we're attracting the right people, but then being ourselves. And I think that's a beautiful opportunity now, because so many people are using AI to write for them, which there's ways we can do that well, sure, but a lot of people aren't doing that well. And so there's actually a beautiful opportunity to stand out and to use our own voice. And I even, Melanie, even now, I'll put like a spelling mistake in my emails so they know it's me. like let's just be ourselves, and like let's actually be humans and build these relationships. And I think that's a beautiful opportunity right now.
That's funny. I'm always so like, oh, there's a spelling error, oh, grammar, and what you're saying is that it actually reminds people that we're human, and
Exactly.
there's more to the email there. I'm curious if you see other ways besides just the content itself and the words we're using that AI is changing the scope of email marketing.
I mean, well, like I just mentioned, I think there's a lot of like AI slop, AI vanilla out there, right? Like I think
Hmm.
people are using it to shortcut things, which is great. It's a great tool for that. I use AI in my business as well, but I think we need to be really careful on how we're using it. Um, and making sure that it's not replacing our voice, because we've got to remember like it's learning from the internet, from other people, so it's going to start to sound like other people and not sound like us. So I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing. I will say, and we can definitely chat about this, but another, I guess, positive and opportunity that AI is bringing is allowing us to create lead magnets that are interactive, that are experiences, that are branded. And that's cool, because I think for years now, I would say years, the old PDF, the old way of doing a lead magnet, it still worked in terms of attracting people. They'll still sign up for it. But the percentage of people that actually open the damn thing and actually go through that lead magnet that we've created is pretty minimal. And so now what we get to do is create these interactive kind of tools and experiences using AI that actually let people experience our expertise and have this like quick win without reading a 10-page PDF that they're never going to read, right? Like, so I think that is kind of like a beautiful opportunity now with AIs. We get to transform these old lead magnets that probably didn't work that well into something that people are actually going to experience, um, which means our list will grow quicker, and it'll be full of people that have actually had some kind of transformation, even if it's a small one, which builds so much more trust as well in the inbox.
I love that. And what you're really bringing home is, I think one of the shifts I'm seeing is there's a recalibration of how all of this content is being consumed and
Mm.
what's compelling people to integrate versus maybe pause it and put it over there, and then it becomes irrelevant, right? They've forgotten they have
Mm-hmm.
it. So I hadn't even thought about that angle of AI, but it's such a great reminder that AI can be an integrator, a trust builder, a credibility booster when used right.
Absolutely. And I think as well, like there's so much information out there now, right? Like we are using AI instead of Google a lot of, I know I am a lot of the times. And I think it's so easy just to get information. But when people can experience us, and if that starts from that very first interaction with our lead magnet, right at the very start, that first impression, then it's going to just build so much trust for that whole relationship going forward. And if you think about it, you have a great experience with a lead magnet. You're like, oh my gosh, that tool was amazing. I can't believe that that helped me. I can't believe that that solved this for me. The next time that Melanie Benson pops into your inbox, you're looking out for her name because you've had this beautiful positive experience. So that then helps the deliverability, which helps your emails land in the inbox. So it all kind of plays into each other that way as well.
Well, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but now that you're talking about a little bit of that deliverability, I think this is worth mentioning. And a lot of people don't even know this exists, is there's a lot of AI tools that are automatically sorting what folder email goes into. And you just really brought this home is when you are really creating value right out of the gate, you're not going to end up in the inbox or the folder called like read someday, right? Like they're going to
Mhm.
want to see your email in their inbox. They're wanting to hear from you. So they're more likely to sort you so that you're being read, I guess is the best way to say it. And I just think it's important to know, like, you may not even know what's going on behind the scenes. So you want to make sure it's so relevant, so fresh, so integrating that people want to read your emails.
Absolutely. And almost like the sender name is the most important. Like it's more important than the subject line, right? Like building that relationship with them and you so that you're landing in the inbox. And the best way to do that, yes, have a lead magnet that has that experience that we just mentioned, but also that first email that they get. So when you deliver the thing, when you give them the link, it's normally like the delivery email, right? They get it straight away. They sign up for the thing. I don't put them into a welcome sequence anymore. So what I used to do, they'd sign up for the lead magnet, they get the deliverability email, and then it'd be like, what, 3 to 5 emails spread over a couple of days where it's like introducing me and like all of the things, setting up expectations. I don't do that anymore because people are smart in 2026. They know they're in a funnel, they know what they're signing up for. And so instead, which brings me to the gift I have for you all, but instead I do a start here email. So what that does is that's everything. It's a bit epic, it's a bit long, but it means that in that start here email, we deliver the thing. We're introducing ourselves and setting expectations. We're giving them some links to some other things, other value, blog posts, podcasts, whatever it might be in there. And we're asking them a question. So if they can take an action on that email, if they can click the freebie link, if they can click another resource, if they can hit reply, which is the best outcome we could hope for, if they can do something on there, which they will, again, your chances of landing in the inbox out of those folders is just so much higher. So, for anyone listening, if you have a welcome sequence, it's that traditional way of doing things set up. Look at your data, look at your open rates, look at your click rates on that sequence. And if you notice that it's dropping, which is what mine was doing, ditch it. Just have one email that does all of it in one, which you can grab my template out of the show notes for, but does all of it in one. And then it's just going to, again, make sure that you're landing in that inbox so much better, so much easier.
Yeah, I've been hearing actually from a common friend of ours about your revolutionary welcome sequence, and I was like, I'm gonna check that out. Um, and really, what I learned, and this is what you're bringing home, is that you've got to get people to take some kind of an action. So the algorithm, the email gods know, like, okay, this person really does want to be hearing from this new connection they've made. I, I'm really curious because, we both talk about authority and we talk about the importance of building that authority and really helping people engage through that authority. But what does authority look like from your point of view when you're primarily building it through email instead of that social platform that a lot of people start the relationship with?
Oh, I love that question. I think for me, authority comes through the different things I'm a part of. Being on this podcast, right? Like it's a credibility that you invited me here, that I know what I'm talking about. Like I think sharing any opportunities like that come up. What I teach around email list growth without social is there's a whole stack of relationship based strategies. So we're talking podcast guesting, summits, bundles, freebie swaps, networking, PR. There's a whole load of stuff that you can do. You don't have to do it all. I just say choose one for 90 days and then look at the results. But there's a whole stack of things you can do. And if you are doing those, they're also credibility and authority builders, right? If I'm speaking in a summit, if I'm networking with somebody and I'm teaching to their membership, if I'm on this podcast, like they all build credibility. So what I tend to do is grow my list that way. And then when I'm doing my email marketing and my email sending, I rotate through some different types of emails that I send to my list. So I have 4 different types. One is a connection email. So I'll be telling a story about my life, something that I'm going to connect with them on. It could be work related, it could be personal related, whatever it might be, but a connection email, the whole purpose to connect. Then there's a teaching email, which we're also used to, that building value, teaching them something. There's that one. Then there is a sales email. We got to sell. We make money through our inbox. Make sure you're selling at least one out of the 4 opportunities. And then there's a spotlight email. And the spotlight email is this credibility builder, is this hey, I was just on this podcast. This was a conversation. Click here to listen, which your podcast host will love you for because you're actually sharing the podcast episode as well. But like anything like that, right? Where you can spotlight yourself doing something to build credibility and authority. And even if you just get into that sequence of like rotating through those, it means you're going to make more money because you're actually intentionally selling. It means you're going to build more authority because you're actually sharing what you're doing. Plus, we're building that relationship and showing that we're the expert through the connection and through the teaching. So that's kind of like the cadence I like to rotate through. And for me, I send a lot of emails, so I could do all of that in 1 week. Other people that send like one email a week, that might take a month for you to get through. But it means that you're ticking all of those boxes through the way that you're sending emails as well.
Yeah, so really what you're doing is the same thing that most of us are doing on social media. You're just doing through your email list. And that rotation of different content is really powerful because people are getting to know different sides of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, if we're not intentional with with whatever platform we're using, right? We go with where we're comfortable. And for a lot of us, it's giving value and it's teaching. I
Mhm.
used to do that myself and just like give and be like, why haven't I made any money this month? Oh, I haven't actually sold anything. That's right. So I think if we're not intentional about that content that we're creating wherever we're doing it, we just go back to the default of what we're comfortable with. So I think it's good to be intentional and like cycle through that. And yeah, if you love social, do it on social. But I love emails. That's where I choose to do it.
So I think you kind of set this up a little bit, but I want to go just maybe a tad bit deeper into the being really intentional about growing your email list. I think we all get that we need an email list. And I think if you're doing business in this new era of business, we definitely know we need that. And how we build an aligned audience so that we're not just building and let me just take a step back and say I made several colossal mistakes early on in my career doing collaborations with people who really didn't share an aligned audience. And I would get these huge surges of people into my email community and then wonder why nobody was buying, why, I wasn't really seeing good traction, or there was a big, fall off of those new subscribers. And I realized like, oh, I'm not really building an audience of aligned people. I'm just getting people on my list through these collaborations. And it was a huge turning point for me. And so I'm curious, how would you guide somebody to start building their lists intentionally?
Yeah, I love that. And again, I think we've all done that, right? Like I know I've done that, made that mistake before as well. I hosted a birthday bash bundle in 2024 and I was like, let's just invite all my internet friends. That doesn't need to be a topic. Let's just party because I love birthdays. And back then, yeah, it grew my list. I had like thousands of people sign up for the damn thing, but there was a small majority that were my ideal clients. So I think we've all done that. And I think, again, it's that intentional word. So if we're starting from scratch, all of our listeners, I want you to be thinking, where are you leading people, right? So where do you want them to end up? Do you have a signature offer? Do you have somehow you help them? Do you have a community? Like what does that look like? Where are you leading people? Are you doing one-on-ones? Like what is the end result? And then reverse engineer that. So what is the first step they need to take? And that needs to be the free resource or the digital product that you're putting forward when you're collaborating. So if you're listening and you don't have anyone on your email list, things like bundles can be a great way to start because you don't need a list size minimum to be a part of them generally. Even speaking on summits as well. Personally, I found my list growth much larger with bundles because they're normally a bigger event. However, I will say again, we need to be really specific and intentional about who we're attracting so that we don't get this big influx of the wrong people. But yeah, always being intentional, reverse engineering that, putting forward the thing that will attract your ideal client. If you already have a list, like if you've already got a couple hundred people on your email list, freebie swaps are like my secret strategy. I love doing a good freebie swap. So I would share your freebie, you'd share mine. It's a one-on-one type intimate kind of collaboration, but it's so fun and nice and you can get such good results. I've had hundreds of people from a freebie swap with an aligned person and it's just like the secret thing if you're really busy or if you're really time poor or if you don't want to be in these larger collaborations right now, there's other options too, right? So I think step one, making sure that that product at the front end leads them somewhere, that it is intentional. And then know that there are options. Think about your capacity. Think about what you want to do. Do you want to host something? Do you want to participate in something? Are you like totally strapped and we'll just do a freebie swap? Or you love chatting, go on a few podcasts. Like, know you have options, and then decide which option you're going to try. I say try it for 90 days. A big component of like, 90 days, you're going to then be able to look at the data, look at the results, see how it felt, give it a good crack and not just like a half hearted try, and then decide what you want to do next. Right. So that's kind of the way that I approach it.
I love Australian terms for things. Give it a good crack.
Oh, I was like, what did I say?
Give it a good crack. Yes, I love that. And it's such a great way to put it. So my friends, as you're listening in, I want you to start thinking about what are you going to give a crack to, because you definitely, there's a lot of information that you can take in. We're in the age of not more information, of integration. So you definitely want to be thinking about what am I going to move forward? Now, I want to dig a little bit deeper into something you alluded to, because I was going to ask you this anyway.
Mhm.
There's no shortage of opportunities to kind of take part in what somebody else is hosting. This is a great way to get started. But there becomes a moment when the payoff is significantly shifted when you host things, when you
Mhm.
host your own bundle event, when you host your own summit, when you host your own giveaway, right? Like whatever the list building opportunity is. For
Mhm.
you, what do you advise people? When's the moment to maybe move beyond just joining other people's events and host your own?
When you're impatient, right? When you want that list growth to be much faster, because you're right, like the payoff is so significantly different. I do like the advice of being in a couple things so you know what you like, what you don't like, how you would do it differently. I think that's really important. But honestly, I just say go for it. I don't think there is a perfect time. I mean, you get to choose when you're hosting, you get to choose what the thing is. So you also get to choose how much time you've got and what that is, right? Like, so if I was hosting a summit, for example, I know they take a lot more time to prepare and to pull together than a bundle does. So if I was a bit short on time, I'd just go the bundle route, right? So it's like, just go for it. Think about, okay, and you can start small. I also want to say you can start small. This is not what I did. When I started hosting summits, I was like, go big or go home. I'm just gonna do it all. And so I had like 40 contributors and it was very stressful and I did not sleep much. So I would not recommend that for the first time. But know that you can start small. You could pull together 5, 8, 10 contributors. You could do an audio summit where there's no video if you don't want to show up. You could do a little bundle or a giveaway, or I used to do these little private podcast pop ups where I would just get them to send me the audio training, put it together in a player. I'd introduce the thing and we'd all share it. Um, it gets to be easy and it gets to be simple. It doesn't have to be a big production. But I think if you're at that place where you've been in a few things, you're feeling like the growth is too slow, you're really clear on your ideal clients and who you serve, because that's important. I say just go for it. I say just
Mm.
go for it. Um, I also want to add too, though, if you are participating, don't be afraid to ask questions because there are a lot of shitty things out there too. Not, I think, and I don't mean this, my heart, but there are things that might not be organized as well as you would like. Or I just want to really encourage everybody to ask questions. You are allowed to ask the host, have you done this before? What's the reach you're expecting? You're allowed to ask questions. And I think that's really important as well, because a lot of times if we go into things blind and just trust that it's going to be a great opportunity, and then we're disappointed and we didn't ask questions, like you got to ask questions as well to make sure, because we are promoting it. And it's also representing our business and our brand when we're a part of collaborations too. So I think that's an important conversation to highlight.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I get asked, or actually, I get the fallout of not asking the right questions a lot, in terms of people coming to me asking me questions about collaboration. And normally it's because A, they weren't clear about what was aligned for them, or B, they didn't ask the right questions. And then they were like, wait, what? This is not what I wanted to say yes to. So
Mm.
totally agree. And don't be afraid to ask to meet the host. Not all of them think of that as an important ingredient, because so much of us are on the go so quickly. But yeah, you are promoting someone else. You're promoting a lot of someone else's. So sometimes it's really healthy to find out who else is involved and make sure it does feel congruent for you.
Mm.
I love that. Kylie, you mentioned earlier that you have your resource that you're sharing with our community today about your welcome sequence. You want to just share real quickly what the URL is? We also will put that in the show notes for you, so it's easy to click on.
Yeah, of course. It's just kyliekelly.com/start here. One word.
Yeah, and I have heard rave reviews about this resource, so highly recommend it. I think anytime we can learn how to write emails that get consumed better, and we can make them, like Kylie started this conversation with, something that people want to hear from us, you're winning in the email game. So definitely willing into that. Is there any other place that you like to let people know that, to connect with you since you're not on social media?
Yeah, my website is the best place. So just kyliekelly.com and everything is linked there. So, like we mentioned, I've got a school community. The link is on my website. There's my podcast. The link is on my website. So, yeah, my website
Great.
is definitely the best place.
Beautiful. So I always like to wrap up these conversations with the amazing humans that come on Amplify Your Success with just a couple of fun questions. I really believe that our work makes ripples of positive impact in the world. And I'd love to know, what is the positive ripple effect that you want to make in the world?
Oh, I love that question. I think for me, it's all about empowering women to have a business that helps them build their life the way they want, right? Like I think
Mm,
a lot of times we start building these businesses and we become a slave to the business because we let it consume too much. But hey, let's build a business that supports the life we want. Whether you're social media free or not, it doesn't matter. But let's build a business that supports the life that you want to have, especially as women, especially with the big goals and visions and yeah, that women have. I feel like, oh my gosh, if we could put more money and more success into the hands of women, this world would be a radically different place.
that is true. Very true.
Mm.
What would you say is the boldest decision you ever made that ended up, it was probably scary to make, but it ended up propelling your business forward?
Honestly, I think that the first thing that comes to my mind is when I pivoted, right? So I used to be a wedding photographer for a decade pre 2020. I was a wedding
Oh.
photographer, loved it, very booked out, booked like shot internationally, amazing. The pandemic happened and I was pregnant with my second and everything got cancelled. It almost sent me bankrupt because I had to refund all of the deposits and like it was a hard journey, but then it led me to this online space where now I get to really be more flexible with my time. I get to have a network and a community of women that I'm really friends with that I get to help. Like it's transformed my life significantly. So that decision to go all in and not to cling on to the old business, even though that's what I knew, would have to be the best decision that I made, even though it was really hard at the time.
Oh, I could only imagine. So, I mean, I think we're seeing another wave. COVID impacted so many people who did stuff in person. Now we're seeing so many people impacted by, the emergence of AI and how that's playing out. And I love that you're sharing, like, hey, do the thing that feels really hard and scary, and it could actually be even better. I mean,
Mm.
what a great message to end today's episode on. So, Kylie, thank you so much. Is there one wrap up thought or takeaway that you'd like to leave our listeners with today?
Again, I think just focus on relationships. I think it's so easy to get lost in the new shiny things that we see inundate everything every day. If we bring it all back and we just focus on that one person that we're helping or that one relationship that we get to build and make that be enough, it
Mm,
will be enough, right? I think just focus on the relationships and your business and your life will be better for it.
I love that so much. I'm all about relationships and connections. So you're speaking my love language, my friend.
That's why we get on so well. I love it.
Exactly. Thank you, Kylie, and thank you for listening in today. I am so privileged that you're a part of our Amplify Your Success community. I really think of our listeners as family, and I always love hearing from you. Tell me what sparked for you today. If you're listening to this on social, give us a little shout out. Tell us what landed for you. And I always am massively appreciative of your review, your rating, your giving us a little comment about what you love about the show on Apple or Spotify or wherever you like to listen to the show. Thank you for listening in. We'll see you again next week.